All right, I just finished a conversation with a client who obviously is based overseas, Indian, but I can't give you more details. Only thing I can tell you is he's a young man in his 30s. And even though he finished the session, I felt I could give him a lot more worthwhile advice and guidance. And I also felt maybe why not make a video and share it with all of you so that whoever is watching, who has the hunger, the fire, will watch this video and will improve. So you can give your special thanks to this anonymous person whom I can't reveal. And if you believe in God or religion, you can send your thoughts and prayers to him if it helps you. But anyway, let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, so whatever problems he shared with me, um, I don't want to reveal all of it, but all I can tell you is he is not in a happy place. His life is could be better. Physically, he's not happy. Mentally, he's not happy. Emotionally, he's not happy. Friends wise, I mean, life should be much better, but it is not. So I'm going to give you bits of advice that I want to tell him, and I'm sure this will help you. The first one: health is paramount. Okay, keep this in mind. Whether you are, 20s, 30s, 40s, whichever age, health is paramount. If your health is not in place now, you cannot function 100%. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say you have a very important project where you have to give 100%. And let's imagine you have a massive, very bad and painful toothache. Do you think you can focus on your work? You can't. Let's say there's again an important project where you have to give 100% and you did not sleep well. Okay, you did not sleep. You just didn't sleep well. You had a maybe late nighter and you didn't sleep for 24 hours and then 48 hours. You will feel horrible because your health is not up to the mark. Or let's assume you have a very bad back pain. Your back pains, like when you sit down, it pains like you can't bend this way, you can't bend that way. You're in constant pain. So if your health is not in place, you cannot function. And if you have uh, diseases or imperfect health conditions like diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, even cancerous cells or whatever, all which stems from nutrition. Keep this in mind. This is something doctors will not tell you or never want to tell you. Food is medicine. Okay, I don't know whether it was Hippocratic, the Hippocrates, whatever his name is. I'm not joking. Huh? Food is actually medicine, but today food is processed so badly, food has become poison. And just if you don't believe a word I say, just search for videos of Americans who would go to the beach in 1970s and 1980s. You'll see every one of them thin, not muscular, and normal people who never do any exercise, but they are thin. Today, have a look at men and women who go to the beach. All of them have blubber and layers of fat, and they're walking like this, and they're unhealthy, and they're coughing, and their stomachs are literally hanging. Why? Because today food is processed to the point where it's no longer nutritious, it's just delicious. Okay. And it has so many chemicals, it is pure poison. Okay. So the doctors will not tell you this simply because one is they don't practice it. Second is they are thought only if someone comes sick, fix them. That's it. A doctor will never tell you to live a healthy lifestyle. And remember this much, in the medical industry, um, if you're sick, they make money. If you're healthy and well, they will go bankrupt. So their job is to ensure that you keep coming to visit them. That is why they will always suggest an operation. They will always suggest medicines. They will always suggest um, a kind of a protocol where you have to take something in the medical industry, medicines, or you have to visit them, or you have to undergo certain extreme measures like surgery or whatever, operate this, cut out that. In fact, me, myself, my injuries on both my knees, the doctor suggested surgery. When I damaged my lower back, again, they said you have to cut your spine back open, do, you know, correct it or put metal plates and all that. And my friend, who was an orthopedic surgeon, gave me enough and more horror stories of when he was a trainee, a junior, how these top-notch orthopedic surgeons, they would perform surgeries on people who didn't need a surgery. Like, just imagine a person coming. This I actually spoke. I made a video on this. You can Google search if you can get it on YouTube. Loy Machedo on the medical industry or hospital. This rich guy who trusted the doctor with his life came for a knee replacement surgery, and the doctor said his knee was completely battered and destroyed, and he had to operate on it to remove the pain. So this rich man trusted the doctor with his life, and he told him, "Make sure that you're operating." He said, "I will operate. You're like my brother. You're like whatever." And how all these dialogues were known is because my friend was there. Once this guy, the anesthetic mask was put, and anesthetic, whatever, and he passed out. The doctor told the juniors, "Okay, you operate on him. I'm going to my office, sitting and relaxing and watching maybe TV or some crap like that." And, these juniors, they will do what the doctor tells them because they obviously are working there. So when this friend of mine actually cut the knee open, he saw a perfect kneecap, perfect. And immediately he called the doctor and said, "Doctor, this is actual story, this is not fake. And you can be rest assured, my friend, I trust him almost with my life. He will never bullshit about all this." He called up the doctor and said, "Doctor, this is a perfect kneecap." He said, "Did I ask you if it's perfect or not perfect? What did I put you there? For a knee replacement surgery. Just do your goddamn job and don't act too smart and don't tell me how I should do my job." Yeah, just imagine, because you get what I'm saying. If the doctor had told this guy that he didn't need surgery, he wouldn't make any money. But by making him go through that complex procedure, he has made money, and well, he has performed a surgery where he can charge him a lot of money. There are even cases whereby, in I can't tell you the place in UAE, but these hospitals which have laborers, laborers working in buildings, when they get injured, they actually have meetings. The doctor has meetings with the other doctors to decide, listen, if, like, there was a case where this laborer had a very bad accident where his thumb was, literally like hanging. They could reattach it and, make it okay. But instead, they opted to amputate his thumb and fingers and whatever. Why? Because it pays more money. In some cases, they even purposely put an incision, and they don't do their job properly. They give a botched kind of a surgery so that, you'll fall sick or you'll have some infection, you'll come back again. Actual stories, this is not fake, because the insurance company pays, and that is how they make money. In fact, the most shocking one was when these doctors were sitting, and one of my friends over there and client, he resigned from the hospital when the director, CEO of the hospital, and the other doctors, they were discussing what extra tests can we give them where we can generate money. And they were even discussing how can we ensure that we get money for, what should we do? Like, they don't mind even ensuring that they even discussed, should we amputate his hand, that way we can keep him some more days. Seriously, this is not all jokes. This is not made up stories. So they butcher you like as if you're a piece of meat. They don't care. And one final one, the most shocking one, was there was surgery that had to be done, and the doctor who specialized in that particular surgery was not available. The guy who used to kiss the CEO's ass of that hospital, he called the doctor and said, "Can you perform the surgery?" Yeah, I'll do it. Even though he's not specialized in that, and he did it. And I don't know whether the person died or whatever, but he doesn't know. He doesn't have knowledge in that particular kind of surgery, yet he did it. And I think, I'm being honest with you. What I remember, I'll tell you. What I don't, I think most probably he botched the surgery up. Okay, because he didn't know. He was not qualified. But if they had to do the surgery, why? Because that is revenue, that is money. So the point I'm trying to make here is, Doctors are businessmen who have revenues, who have targets, who have families to feed, who have money to make, who have financial interests. So please do not trust your life to a doctor. We think doctors are angels. Nowadays, it is not the case. So, whatever diagnosis they give you, don't take just one opinion, take multiple opinions. That is why when I had my bariatric surgery, that is to make my stomach small, I was, if you check my photographs, 125. My stomach was almost like 50 inches. It was so big, 48. So, I lost all that from 125. I brought my weight down to almost 57. That was with intermittent fasting and by not eating food, which I disciplined my body. And guess what? I had blood pressure at the beginning stage, blood pressure, diabetes, joints pain, breathing issues. Even they suspected I had cancer cells. Once I did the fasting, and I did succeeded in the 15-day fast, no food, which I don't recommend you to do if you don't have experience. I went and checked with the doctor. He said, there's no symptoms of any of these. So remember, it is food. So that's the first piece of advice I want to give you is not food. It is your health is extremely paramount. More than anything in the world, you have to focus on your health. That is why even sometimes if you have a toxic relationship, if you have a toxic work environment, if you have toxic friends, if you live in a place that is toxic, it's better to leave that place, earn a little less, but with peace of mind and a good night's sleep rather than earn more, but you are absolutely miserable and you're crying and you're suffering. Okay. So, first is health. The second thing which I wanted to share with this client is look, there are two extremes which are not good. One is not having confidence at all. You have low self esteem, you don't believe in yourself. And the other one is overconfidence, where you think, oh, nothing can touch me. Now, there is, in between both these extremes, there is the middle ground. It may be a little bit more towards the arrogant side. And I'll explain what I mean by that. For example, um, my parents, my mother, father, stepfather, my relatives, the church, the people of the church, my school teachers, everyone doubted in me. They didn't believe in me. They used to tell me, you're a mistake. You shouldn't have been born. You should have died. That is how South Indians, they kind of vent out their frustration to make you feel like shit. And yes, they were very violent in terms of beating me and hitting me. I've told you, until blood came out, they would not stop, like my stepfather. He believed in the Christian doctrine of discipline brings you closer to God or some shit like that. Or if you spare the rod, you ruin the child or some nonsense like that. He used to quote the Bible. And the audacity of that stepfather of mine, he actually believes that, the other type who, if you achieve something good in life, yeah, it's only because I disciplined you. He takes credit, that piece of shit, the son of a bitch. Anyway, he has dementia. He doesn't know what he's talking now. Which I kind of feel, I don't feel bad for him, but I wish he would remember so that I could enjoy him suffering, because he is, you can't forgive him. It's like my uncle was a pedophile. Can't forgive him. Sorry, the forgiveness Christian doctrine, you can shove it up in your Christian rear end, but for me, no. If you're a pedophile, or thankfully my stepfather wasn't a pedophile, but if you are a child abuser, just like you are an animal abuser, you don't deserve to be forgiven. So he did this for my entire childhood, abusing me to the extent where, for example, Razor Ramon, those days, actually WWE, he had a little bit of hair like that. I like to put a ponytail. You know how did my father get rid of this, stepfather? He caught my hair like this. You're talking of not a small boy. You're talking of someone who is like, I think I was 13, 14 or something, young teen. He grabbed my hair like this and he took the scissor and cut it off. My blood was boiling and he said, what you'll do? What you'll do? Short fuck. He is, I think, 5 feet, 5 inches or something. I really wanted to, like WWE, do something like The Undertaker or something. Anyway, so low self-esteem is where you believe you're a good for nothing, you're not meant to achieve anything, you can't do it, you doubt yourself, will I get the job? In fact, the TED talk that I gave, which is featured on YouTube, when my mentor himself said, "Why don't you go and apply for the TED Talk?" I had just gone through a very horrific tragedy, 2011, when I lost everything and I was penniless. He brought me back from India with that fake, criminal charges that my ex-employer had put on me. All this is there. You can type 2011 Loy Machedo suicide. So when I came back, I had almost zero self-belief. So he said, "Why don't you apply for the TED Talk and see if you will get it?" I told him, "I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think anyone would select me. There are people with such impressive credentials and background and qualifications and achievements. They will never take me." So my mentor didn't say anything. He said, "Okay, fine." But when I got back home, I was like, is this the same Loy Machedo who believed in himself, who used to give public speeches, who was like a DJ, anchor for shows in such a big crowd? Why can't I do it? And I'll tell you, the whole night I spent thinking, why can't I do it? And next day I went for the audition. And guess what? Among nearly, I think, 200, 300 people, I was finally selected. But it was not that easy. There were a lot of politics and all that nonsense. They didn't want to give it to me, by the way. They wanted to give it to one of the key sponsors, spokesperson. I think it was Oglivian Mother or BBDO. I'm not too sure. They wanted him to, because he was very polished. I was tattooed and I didn't get along with the curators of TEDx Dubai. It was very prestigious. But guess what? Finally, I got it. And they didn't want me, but they had to give me because I got the people's vote also. So anyway, it is only because I believed in myself. Just imagine, no qualification, no background, no support, no sponsors, no nothing. And I did it. And all those people were, rich, and they were somewhere driving in a Rolls Royce. They had support, they had backing, they had their crowds coming there. I was alone. And just imagine, I was just recovering from one of the biggest tragedies of my life in 2011, but still I got it. So that is self-belief. But where arrogance comes in is where, like, you have some of our Indians who believe that they can, they can become the next Sachin Tendulkar or Shah Rukh Khan or multi-millionaire, billionaire. That is unacceptable. Like, for example, you get these college students or you get these freshers who literally come to my channel and say, "Hey, who the hell are you, man? How much are you earning?" They seriously, they have the audacity to ask, "How much are you earning? What, you have only, 100 views or 500 views? What, you look so bloody ugly, man. Who would take your bloody service?" And that is, they operate from a place of low self-esteem. They operate from a place of ignorance, arrogance, and they're very toxic. So if they had an iota of self-respect, if they had proper upbringing, and if they're focused on themselves, they wouldn't do that. So that is arrogance. That is the extreme of ignorance and arrogance, where you believe anything is possible. I even have had clients, like I told you, in my previous videos, female 40 years old Indian, and she wants to be the next Oprah Winfrey. She wants to be a billionaire. There was a female from South India who wanted to be Victoria's Secret model, and she is like a typical auntie. And she actually believed it. Actually believed. There was a female from Delhi who falsified her entire resume and bluffed. She actually believed, I don't know whether she had a split personality issue, that Obama had a secret crush on her. And she went to US and she booked my session. And she was telling me that she knows Obama. Obama had a crush on her, and she looked horrendous. And she wants to be Obama's advisor and this. And she even offered me, if you work free for me, I will make sure that you are part of my administration, which will be part of Obama. I know you'll not even believe what I'm saying, but take it from me, I've had clients like this. If I have to bullshit, I'll not bullshit in such an extreme. But I'm telling you, there are people like this on the planet who believe they can be billionaires. Elon Musk. There was, I don't know if you've seen this video online, where an Indian guy, where Elon Musk is speaking to a crowd. That Indian guy actually tells Elon Musk, "I want to be the CEO of your company. I want to be part of the board or You know, it's so embarrassing. I'm sure you must have watched that video. So that is extreme arrogance. On the other side is extreme self doubt and low self esteem. So I'm asking you to take the middle ground, and not middle ground where you're just normal, but a middle ground where you truly believe in yourself. Now, the question is, where do you draw the line? Let's say, for example, you want to be rich, you want to be a multimillionaire. Maybe someone who's poor will say, listen, stop dreaming here. Okay. But on the other hand, sometimes maybe your parents, or maybe let's say, for example, I'm your mentor, and you tell me you want to be a multimillionaire, or you want to be super successful, or you want to be like Arnold, for example, or you want to be Sachin, not Sachin, sorry, you want to be the president of United States. Okay, let's assume. Now, there you need to use a little bit of common sense, a little bit of common sense. If you're not eating properly, if you're not exercising properly, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't have a fitness regimen, you cannot achieve an amazing six pack ab body. There should be years and years of dedication to achieve that and discipline. Let's say you want to be a world class fighter. I've had some clients from India who said they want to be a champion boxer, champion MMA. What should they do? So I asked them, are you training in an MMA gym? No. Are your parents ready to sponsor you? No. Do you have anybody to help you financially? No. Have you ever had any background in exercise? No. I just watch and I do my exercise at home watching YouTube. If you're in India and you don't even have money to book your own ticket or even have your own passport, and you, without your parents' help, you don't even have 100 rupees in your bank account, and you're telling me that you want to be the world's number one fighter or MMA, it cannot work that way, boss. So there should be common sense, which you have to use. And if you're, let's say, someone who does not like to study at all, does not retain information, you can't be a first rank holder. So over there, yes, you have to listen to practical common sense from people who have wisdom and experience. Okay. But at the same time, um, if you truly want to achieve something, okay, if you truly want to, and you're ready to be obsessed, you're ready to work hard, you're ready to do whatever it takes to help you reach your dream, then yes, you can. That is why we have stories like Ed Sherman, who slept on, sofas, and he took other people's help. He used to even sometimes he used to sleep on the streets, but he believed in his dream. We have Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't have a very easy life, and people said he would never make it. Anthony Hopkins never thought he would be reach that legendary status. We have these great inspirational, motivational stories. Even Colonel Sanders. You know, so it is not that just because they did it, you'll do it. I'm not trying to say that way. Rather, if you really put your heart and your soul, there's a possibility, strong possibility you'll achieve it. Proper mentoring, proper guidance, proper coaching, dedication, obsession, hard work. See, like for example, me, everyone in my family, and I don't blame them because I was never focused. I was a failure in school. I never studied. I didn't have interest. They didn't know there was a thing called ADHD. I just like reading books. Okay. I liked talking. I loved attention. My bad habits included I was chasing girls. I never wanted to study. So none of these traits are the recipe for greatness. But guess what? Today, among all my family members, I'm not saying I'm the most successful, but I'm the guy who's the happiest. And I'm the guy among everyone else. I am living my dream. I am living the way I want. I am doing what I love. Okay. So, yes, there's plus and minus. So, all the point I'm trying to make here is you should stay away from toxic people, but you don't want people blowing smoke up your ass or putting hot air so that they tell you you can achieve greatness. Um, you should have a dream. You should have a goal. Will you achieve it or not? Nobody can say. Nobody can say. But be so obsessed about what you want to achieve that you will, whether you win or whether you don't succeed, whether you succeed or not, you should be happy knowing I did. I at least tried. I at least gave it my best. I wanted to be a radio jockey. I failed. I tried for 8 years. I used to listen to Les Brown. Listen to that talk, Les Brown, Hungry. I listened to it. I was so motivated. Never got radio jockey's job. Wanted to be a DJ. Well, I tried my level best. Never could go on the professional scene. I wanted to be in MTV. Those days there was MTV and RJ. I tried years and years. No, didn't succeed. So there were so many avenues and areas where I tried and I failed. And I gave it like not just 2 months, 3 months, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years. But finally, now I have a YouTube channel and well, I haven't failed. I've succeeded. So keep trying. The point I'm trying to tell you is have the goal, have the dream, and keep trying no matter what. Yes, you'll keep experience failure. And maybe there's a possibility that you will die and never succeed. So what? But you should enjoy the journey. Remember, it's not the destination. It's not when I achieve that, I'll be happy. You should enjoy each and every day. I want to be successful in my YouTube career or my consulting. I want to have maybe, $100 million in the bank account, retire. That's the goal. Will I achieve that? Most probably, maybe not. But does that mean because I'll not achieve it, then forget it? No. I enjoy the journey. Why am I making this video? I enjoy what I do. Why do I speak to my clients? I can be sleeping right now. Why do I even have to make this video? The client didn't pay me extra for this. No, because I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I enjoy what I do. So if you enjoy what you do and you don't define that as work, you are blessed. Okay? And one final piece of advice that I want to give this young man, which I think is very useful to you, is, my mentor used to say, 1 kilo, used to say, South Indian guy, Mangalorean, used to say it in this way, 1 kilo of theory, reading books or theory, is nothing compared to 1 gram, one tiny gram of action. All the theory in the world versus action or experience. And that's so beautifully stated. And why he used to tell me that is, there were so many electrical engineers from big institutions with big credentials, big qualifications, but they could never solve a problem or issue. While my mentor, he didn't have impressive credentials. He was a very, very simple, down-to-earth electrician. Simple. The most basic qualification from the village where he came from India. Okay, from a very poor village. But his hands-on knowledge was so far more superior that even these guys with very impressive credentials couldn't match him. And he went on to build a very big, successful business empire. Why? Because of action. So I want to leave you with the final bit that don't just read books, don't just listen to advice, don't just take down notes. Many of you go to a seminar, you will take down notes and write everything. And then that nice file, you'll keep it in a bookshelf and never use it. Focus on having action. The very fact that he booked a session with me showed that he has what it takes to succeed and have an action. So if he is ready to walk the extra mile, I will walk the extra mile with him. So that is why I made this extra video without charging, because I genuinely want him to succeed. I want all my clients to succeed. Whoever comes to me, I make sure that they succeed. All right. So having said that, but remember, I can't do it for free because it's a business. That's how I earn my livelihood, feed my family, and earn my daily bread. Okay. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care. Hello, bye.